Hello and welcome to episode 67 of Need a Miracle Sports and Gambling Podcast with your host Tracy
and Josh.
Miracle. Today we'll be covering a little bit of college football, some big rivalry games and that, as well as the NFL slate. So where are we going to kick off?
Well, first off, I just want to take time and, this is going to show tomorrow on Thanksgiving. I just want to say, I'm thankful for all my family, friends, this podcast we've been doing, everything going on in life, even when stuff's kicking you down. I'm thankful that, I have the Lord in my corner and everything's going good. You got anything you want to say you're thankful for?
Thankful for the ass whooping the Bills are going to put on the Saints tomorrow. That's about it.
Here we go. He just jinxed you guys Anyway, we've been giving you guys 3 college picks every week to start the show. Right now I'm 3-3. I go 1-2 last week. I don't know what happened to Wake Forest. And then, I took sort of a risky game and it backfired, but I was very happy with the Baylor game. I even took that live -7.5 and covered, and I got that at plus 156. So that's what we were saying. I love live betting a lot of these games. You don't know how they're going to go. It's college. You don't know a kid's mentality and how a game is going to play out. Sometimes being able to at least watch a little bit and seeing the flow of a crowd, because in college, crowd noise can be everything, especially, younger kids getting rattled, stuff like that.
That's exactly why I'm taking one of my picks today.
So I'm going to give you my 3. I'm going to take Ole Miss +2 versus Mississippi State. I know Trace already said I'm going to be in for one there, and it's probably not going to go my way. I still just like Ole Miss and Corral. I think, they need to win a big game. It's a rivalry game to them, and they're going into a hostile, probably, environment, especially, being 2 rivals within the state. But I just think Ole Miss is sort of the better team.
On that, the reason I say that is because it's a cardinal sin of gambling to take a ranked team against a non-ranked team when the non-ranked team is favored, because that just doesn't make sense.
Right.
The books kind of know something there, and that's just what that means. But Mississippi can definitely win the game.
On to this next one here. I took Cincinnati -14 versus East Carolina. Every week I'm like, it's Cincy, their line's huge, and then every week they still cover somehow. East Carolina is not a very good team. I expect Cincinnati to go in there and walk them, especially with what they're fighting for on the line. And then I'm going to go back to a team that let me down last week. I'm going to go with Wake Forest -4.5 versus Boston College. Boston College took an L to I believe they took an L. It was earlier in the season to Syracuse.
Okay.
They lost to Syracuse, or Syracuse covered the spread, one or the other. Right there, put Boston College for me in a team I'm not going to bet with. I still like this Wake Forest team. I think they just ran into a very hungry Clemson team last week, and I think they bounced back here, 4.5. I love it against Boston College. Go ahead and hop in your picks, and then I'll touch base on a little something that I know is on your minds, on my mind, on Linderman when he ever puts these gloves on with me, so I can knock him out.
All right. Yeah, he's talking about Michigan, Ohio State, obviously, but I'm going to go into my first 2 picks, and then I'm going to go with my last pick that will roll into that. So I have Mississippi versus Mississippi State, the first game we talked about. I have the under, though. That's under 64. I just feel like Mississippi State's defense is really good. They're not that great at offense. I mean, their quarterback is good, but they don't put up those huge numbers, so I just like a little bit of a slugfest there. So I think you can actually win that by about 10-15 if you take the under. I like Oklahoma State over Oklahoma, Bedlam, -4.5. Oklahoma State's just got an amazing defense, good offense. They're just way better than the fake Oklahoma team. Both teams have tons to play for, so it's going to be a good game, but -4.5 is an easy steal for me. And I am taking, I don't know what he's going to do. The Michigan fan over here, but I'm taking Michigan. Don't give me 8. Don't give me 9. Money line. Michigan is going to beat Ohio State Saturday. I'll give you the 3 reasons why. Crowd noise with a freshman quarterback. 110,000 people. He's never dealt with that. This guy has played pretty much maybe 2 or 3 good defenses all year, and it hasn't looked pretty. Those defensive ends are going to get after him, and I think Michigan has a very good offense. I really do. I think they could run the ball on Ohio State, and let's not forget why Ohio State lost to Oregon. It was all because of their defense and they couldn't stop the run.
Right.
And I think the same thing can happen here. It's just, do you trust Jim Harbaugh? And I really do believe in breaking through and just enough is enough. And this has been a weird year in college football. And I think Ohio State's going to be overconfident, especially after what they did in Michigan State. You hear their fans talking; they think they're going to win this game by 50. They're not. It's going to be a dogfight. I had to talk him in most of the week to telling him it's going to be a close game. And Michigan's a good football team. They are a good football team this year. Great defense. Defense, wins championships, and I'm taking Michigan. Go ahead.
All right, so this game, the reason I'm not touching this at all is you can only get your ass beat so many times before you stop betting on something. I do think that this can be a very close game, but I've also said that so many times, I thought Michigan was going to win. Shea Patterson, I thought he was going to be the answer. He wasn't. Joe Milton, I was like, oh, we got Joe Milton now. I'm talking shit, not the answer. And 2017, the refs, when they wanted to pat J.K. Dobbins on the ass, there was some friendly fire there from them guys. And, it's just a lot always goes wrong, even when this game's in reach, 2017, Nick Perry, no pass interference call. J.T. Barrett was short, and do not get me started. He was short. And they give him the spot. It's just like whatever can go wrong in this game does. What Tracy said, I do like the Michigan defense a lot better than Michigan State defense. We definitely have some dogs in the secondary that are very aggressive. What makes me nervous is the top end speed of some of these Ohio State guys being able to break out. It could be a very high scoring fest for them on their side. We do have two great DNs in Michigan. And Ajabo and Aiden Hutchinson, who might be a top 5, top 3 draft pick. He looks great. My issue is, though, we have one linebacker that comes up and tackles, and that's Ross. After that, the other two are really cover guys from the games I watch, and how I see it. They don't come up. They don't dump. If you don't dump this Ohio State team and you allow them to take the middle, it's going to be a long day with Henderson, and that's what makes me very scared is that our D tackles are not that great. And our middle linebacker is the only linebacker that really comes up and thumps. Now, if we're going to flip to the other side, there's really not much for Ohio State's defense that makes me nervous. That I think that Michigan can't go compete with that defense.
And I like McNamara a lot. Every time I watch him, they run a lot of crossers. He has easy throws, and he makes them.
Well, McNamara is more like your field general. I'm not going to lie. I'm a lot more excited when J.J. McCarthy takes over just because he's aggressive, likes to push the ball, can scramble, do it all. But no, McNamara is a very good game manager, and I hope that's what he does this game, and I shouldn't say that. I don't hope he manages this game.
You need him. Just real quick, let me go, and then you can take over. You need to win. You need to think about winning this game 31-28. You're not going to win it 56 to 59 or anything like that. You have to muck up the game. You have to run the ball, control clock, and do ugly things.
Well, that's my point, though. But what I need to see from Cade is when the big shot is there, him not hesitate. Take it. This is a team, Ohio State, they can make electric plays. At some point, you're going to have to match one of them electric plays. You're going to have to. It's how it's going to go. The only way to beat them is to outpace them at one point. I agree we're going to be able to run the ball and move the ball against them. I like the matchup on offensive line and defensive line. Ohio State's got studs over there, For me to sit here and say his confidence that I'm taking money line, I don't know if I'm there. And that's just like I said, from all the years of me getting beat up. But I do love the direction Michigan's going in. And what has been preached in that locker room all week, it's true. This is a college football playoff game. People can say what they want. This is a fucking playoff game. Like, we need to go and answer the bell. We need to get in. And we need to send them packing with their 2 losses. Because I'm sick of Ohio State fans thinking they're fucking running shit and everything else. You're not. All right? You're not. It's not happening. Guess what? You beat us and you get in. Bama's going to wax your ass anyway in the first round. So I don't really care. We're going to move on from this because my blood pressure's getting up and I don't need all that. So let's hop into this game right here. Thursday, Turkey Day. Chicago versus Detroit. Detroit is getting 3 points at home. Come on, guys. You watch these games just like I do, and every year Detroit's right there at the end of the game on Thanksgiving. They got me saying, hold on. I can't come to the table yet. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm taking Detroit plus a 3. This is the Chicago defense that's banged up. Their offense, I'm pretty sure, is Fields out, or was he just out last game?
I think he's playing.
Okay, so Fields is back. Guess what? I don't care. Matt Nagy's still their coach. I would take Dan Campbell over Matt Nagy any day. I'm taking Detroit plus a 3.
Yeah, everyone here, just like he said, is on Detroit. I'm going contrarian. too many people like Detroit, and I just think that, like I said, they can only play so many good football teams. There's so many good football games. They're not a good football team. They've had a couple consistent weeks of playing pretty good, playing teams tough. I just don't think it happens this week, and I think Chicago actually blows them out.
You know another thing that pisses me off while I'm sitting here? Ryan Day is such a joke. The man bleaches his beard. Look at it. He dyes it black, not bleaches. He dyes it black, colors it black, uses Rogaine. Ohio State, I'm done. Vegas versus Detroit is the 4 o'clock game tomorrow, and that is going to be our first Detroit. Vegas versus Dallas. Dallas is -7.5. I'm taking Dallas to have a big bounce back game here. 7.5. It's probably going to be a 14-point game. Vegas, what have they really done that makes you say, you know, they're going to be in this game? I expect this to be a big game for Dallas, and I believe they're still without Cooper. I don't think that's going to be an issue, though. One thing with Dallas, what is going on? Like, is Pollard their best back right now?
That's been a question for the last 3 years, I think. But
he looks
they just don't use Zeke right or something. That offensive line's banged up a little bit each year, and Zeke hasn't produced like he's supposed to. I mean, he's doing better this year, I would say, but yeah, I don't know. It's just odd.
All right.
But my side, yeah, I'm taking Dallas. You guys, listen, Thanksgiving, it's fun. Watch football. You're not going to be watching much. I think all 3 of these games are going to be no contests. I think Dallas is going to wipe the floor with Vegas, and then we'll get into this next game.
Buffalo versus New Orleans. It just came out. Kamara is definitely out tomorrow. If Kamara was there, I'm maybe siding with New Orleans. I think Buffalo has a hard time stopping the run, just like we saw against Jonathan Taylor. I said it before the game, so it's not like I'm just hopping on a bandwagon now. Buffalo has a hard time stopping the run against aggressive teams. And I'm going to sort of backtrack myself here, too, because New Orleans is going to be physical, and they're going to try to pound the ball with Ingram.
He might not play either.
Really? I didn't see that. Yeah,
I got like 2 receivers banged up. Ingram's banged
Well,
up, 2 offensive linemen.
That was my point I was getting to, where a healthy team, you know what I mean? I could see a New Orleans team.
Oh, yeah, I'd be scared to death of this team healthy.
Yeah, healthy, you know what I mean? There's something to be nervous about. I just don't think Simeon had it. They got blown out. Well, we're getting blown out last week by Philly. Buffalo's a much better team than Philly. So Buffalo's the pick here, -6, and that's really all you can take.
I've been on New Orleans a lot this year. That defense is scary. There is a couple injuries there. They still got Cam Jordan. I think if you're the Bills, you just don't even really use a tight end much, honestly. I know it sounds crazy, but you just keep him in to block Cam Jordan, and I think everything else will work itself out. Lattimore and Diggs is going to be a great matchup, but I think other guys on our team, like Sanders and Beasley, are going to have huge games.
1-3 needs to get more PT and more touches.
Yeah, and he has been in recent weeks. But yeah, over betting, look at Beasley and Sanders and their yards and catches and stuff like that, because I think Diggs is going to be taken out of the game a little bit. How much so, I don't know, but I just know that Lattimore is a very good premier corner in this league. But yeah, about the game, I think it's going to be close in the beginning. Like I said, hopefully no turnovers on the Bills side, and I think they eventually get the offense rolling, and this becomes a pretty lopsided game as well. Just because Trevor Simeon is not going to do much with no weapons. He's just going to be left out there helpless. And honestly, I don't think he's going to look much different than Mike White going against this Bills defense. They need a renaissance right now. They need a season-changing game. I think it comes here, and then you motherfuckers better be ready for Monday night, because I got something in store for this next podcast, because I want to talk about it right now, honestly. I can't even talk about it for more than 5 seconds without the game being close, because I get so pissed off thinking about Mac Jones and this and that, and
how do you
winning the division and this and that.
How do you think I feel talking about Ohio State? Get your blood boiling, get your little fire.
We'll see about that, but take care of business here. Everyone have a nice Thanksgiving. Big Bills win. Book it.
Let's talk about something that's probably going to get your blood a little boiled up here. Forgot to tell you guys, Papa One decided to make a return last week. I go 10-5 last week. Trace goes, what was it?
I think like 6-8.
6-8. Our overall records, Tracy's still ahead, 78, 69, and 3.
Oh, that doesn't make sense. I must have been 7-8. Was there 15 games? So you have it there?
There was 14 games last week.
So you went 10 or 9-5.
I went 10-5. Sorry, there was 15 games. I went 10-5. You sent me what you have. I have it in another room. I went right off it. It matched up. I checked your bet spurts too. So Trace is 78, 69, and 3. I'm 76, 72, and 2.
So both doing very well.
Yeah, for sure. Last week I needed it. I needed it bad. So
I knew I was doomed right when I checked the score of the Eagles-Saints game.
I thought I was in trouble too. So on to this Sunday, 1 o'clock lineup. Tennessee versus New England. New England is -6.5. I don't know really what's going on with Tennessee. They just released Adrian Peterson. They got beat up pretty bad last week. I'm hopping right back into it. I think New England's going to come in with a big head. And, they're going to be looking at, they got the division, they're in a playoff spot, da-da-da-da. Tennessee is not a team that we've seen stay down very long. They do have playmakers on the outside. Tannehill is more than a capable quarterback. Their offensive line is not horrible. Their defense has been playing okay. And I think this is a Tennessee defense that matches up pretty well, honestly, with a New England offense. So I'm going to take Tennessee plus the points on the road.
Don't get this. Too many points for my blood, for sure. Be aside of the, I hate the Patriots stuff. All that aside, seriously, Tennessee is just going to cover this game, I think. And I actually think they win outright.
Yeah, same.
I've been saying it for a while. I don't think backs are all that important in this league, and I think Tennessee just has a scheme to prove that. Their backs will be fine. Tannehill, a couple play actions. I like their offense, and I think their defense can keep them in it. And I do think New England is definitely due for a stinker. I mean, it's been, 5 or 6 in a row. So we'll see. This is a team that, like I said before, almost lost to Houston outright. So let's not forget about that. I just think the Patriots come down a little bit to earth playing a pretty good football team and lose.
Next game, Jets versus Houston. You hear this right. Houston is -2.5 at home with Ty God back. And I'm going to hop on the train. I'm going to take Houston minus the 2.5. For me, it really comes down to the Jets offense. Flacco starting again, correct? Zach Wilson's back. Okay, Zach Wilson's back. Doesn't really change anything for me. The key to that offense, really what's been the motor over the last couple weeks has been Carter, and he's out. So expect to see Ty Johnson. I just like Tyrod back. He really electrifies this team. I think this is a guy this team wants to play for. You see it everywhere with Tyrod, though. He's a journeyman, and every time he steps in, it seems like teams just want to play for him. He doesn't have to make crazy throws, stuff like that. He makes simple throws. He makes good plays with his legs, and he keeps these teams in games, and I think Houston's going to take it to New York.
I like the Jets, actually.
Okay.
Zach Wilson returning, one of the reasons I'm a big believer, and maybe I'm just crazy. I know the Bills had a completely different coaching staff then, and they had McDermott, and you want to call that, better than Salah, whatever. But Zach Wilson's been hurt for 4 or 5 weeks, gotten to watch things. Got a veteran in there, Joe Flacco, who Super Bowl MVP, very good player in this league at one time, teaching him the ropes, all that. I think he comes in, and I think, he's heard all the Mike White stuff, and I think he puts an end to that against a really bad Houston defense. You can run the ball against them. They got that Michael Carter guy. They got Johnson.
No, Carter's out. That's what I was saying.
He?
Yeah, he was out. That's why I took Houston.
Okay, so who's their other back?
Ty Johnson and Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, so they'll be fine, and I just think the Jets score here. I think it's an ugly game, and I think it's a very close game, and I think the Jets actually pull it out on the road in Houston.
Good. I'm glad we don't agree. On to this next game here, Philly versus the Giants. Giants are getting 3.5 at home. Every week I go against Philly. It's bit me now 3 weeks in a row. Guess what? I'm going with Philly this week. Give me Philly minus the 3.5 against the Jets team that I really don't know what they're doing. And I could very well be wrong. This could be a huge game. Sorry, Giants. This could be a huge game in the Giants' favor, especially just firing Jason Garrett and moving on from him. I don't think he should coach in this league anymore. He doesn't do stuff the right way. He's not up to date. 5-10 years ago, he was a great coach. All right, you got to move with the game and how it evolves, and he refuses to do that. That's why he's out on the road now. I'm still going to roll with Philly. I'm not sure who they brought in. You know who they brought in to run that or who they promoted? I'm not sure either, so that's why I'm going with Philly.
Yeah, I like Joe Judge-led New York Giants in this game. Plus 3.5. Sorry if you hear the dogs right now. They're going nuts downstairs.
Amazon packages come and they just tweak out.
3.5. I like the Giants. I think Danny Jones, new fresh life there. As you mentioned, the Garrett firing. I can't talk today. Holy shit. But, the Giants' defense is still good. And I think Philly is just kind of due for a bad game, a stinker. They've been really hot lately, running the football. I think it's easy to game plan against them, but it seems like no one's doing it, I don't know. Maybe that rushing attack is just that good. Their O-line is good, I know that, but it just feels like, the Giants got some run stuffers in there, Leonard Williams and them boys. I think they can, put up a fight, and I just like the Giants to come out and have a bit of a statement win.
Speaking of Philly's offensive line, do you think they're the best offensive line in the league?
No, I think
Indy, right?
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
After what I watched last week, I can't say anything else.
The Philly game was on Fox, correct? I'm pretty sure it was on Fox on Sunday.
I was at the stadium.
All right, so the Philly game was on Fox, and the announcer, I forget who it was, came across, said, "Oh, the number one offensive line in the league," and I just scratched my head like.
Well, they say that shit. Who knows?
No, I know. I'm just saying, and good for Philly that they're starting to run the ball again. I think that was something they were missing at the beginning of the year, and like I said, that one game, said it right on here. Miles Sanders had 5 carries the whole game. 5 carries. He's one of the better backs in the league. Give him the ball. So let's go Tampa versus Indy. Indy's coming off a big game, against Buffalo. Tampa's coming off a Monday night win. Indy's plus 3 points at home. I'm still going to take Tampa. I think Tampa's a team that just can sort of exploit Indy's secondary. And I like them to move the ball. I don't see there being an issue so much like Buffalo had with the running game, Vita Vea in there, and Ndamukong Suh, and the way them linebackers move.
I think Vea's hurt.
Is he?
Yeah, he's been out a while.
Yeah, I know. I thought he just came back.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, still got Ndamukong Suh, JPP, Shaq Barrett. Them are all guys that are more than capable of rushing the passer, stopping the run, vice versa. And I just like Tampa to take care of business here. It's a 3-point spread for a reason. Usually the closer the spread is, more I like to roll with Tampa just because, they feel doubted and they show up.
Yeah, Indy at home, everyone's going to be on them, and they're still underdogs. That screams out to me to take Tampa, which I am doing. Indy's been hot, riding Jonathan Taylor, you know what I mean? Another team is kind of due for a little bit of a stinker, and Tampa Bay, a bit of a revenge tour after losing to Washington for Tom Brady. And I'm just taking that every day of the week and cashing it in, -3 for Tampa all day.
Atlanta versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville is getting 2 points at home. I am taking Jacksonville. I think there's just more to keep Jacksonville going than there is with Atlanta. I think Atlanta, you can sort of put a fork in them almost. I mean, their weapons are gone. Their only guy is Kyle Pitts. People are game planning for him and sort of taking him out the game almost, So for me, I'm going to take Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence here to move the ball against Atlanta, and it could be a shootout, and I like getting the points, and that's why I'm going with Jacksonville.
I think, Atlanta's snuck out some wins here. They're not as bad as people say they are. I'm taking them against a woeful Jacksonville team. I think it'll be a very close game. I think it'll be actually high scoring, to be honest.
Sort of a shootout. That's almost what I'm anticipating.
With Patterson hopefully coming back for them. Making some plays. I just like Atlanta better. Veteran quarterback against a rookie. I'm going to take that every time. So I'm taking Atlanta.
Why do I always forget about Patterson with Atlanta? He does make me nervous in this game just because he's so explosive. Carolina versus Miami. Miami's getting 2 points at home. Hey, did you happen to see what I texted in the Shane Reaction group text last week?
Oh, yeah, you won with Cam Newton.
I wanted a quarterback. And somebody said something stupid. And I said, fuck it, I'll ride with Cam. I'll win with Cam. Guess what? He is back. He looks good. He looks really good in Carolina. I'm not going to take nothing away from him. I mean,
I don't know about really good.
Well, if we're going to talk about running the ball too, yes, he looks really good. He's doing both. He's showing to look like his old self a little bit. He's got some better weapons with him. And I just like Carolina here minus the 2 points on the road. Everyone's hopping on Miami. Miami's been hot this. Miami's been hot that.
Miami's looked good lately.
It does not carry over. I'm sick of people talking about Miami. This is a third-place team in a not great division.
Oh, easy. Miami is at home. Boring home games. No fans. No one's going to be there. They're going to be out on the beach. I'm taking Carolina.
Last game to wrap up the 1 o'clock window is going to be Pittsburgh versus Cincy. Cincy is -4.5 at home, and I'm going to take Cincy minus the 4.5. This is going to be a close game. It's going to probably sort of be scary. I don't know if Watt's going to be back or Minka. They both were out against the Chargers. Najee Harris obviously makes you nervous no matter what he's doing. Who else went off for them last week? Didn't they have a receiver that went off?
I'm not sure. I know they scored 1 million points. I remember that.
Still, I like this Cincy team. I honestly like Cincy to win the division right now. I think they're playing good ball, and you're gonna see them. Honestly, I think they probably win this game by 10 points.
Last time we were sat here and we crowned Cincy and thought they took that next step, they got pounded by Browns.
I understand.
And I think the Pittsburgh offense took a step last week, even though it was against a bad Chargers defense. They did score a lot of points. They looked decent. Ben came around in the fourth quarter, made some big plays, even though in a loss. I think the defense gets a little healthier this week, and they do cover the 4.5. I like the Steelers. Again, they had a bad week last week, and I'm not going to let it affect me. This guy last year, no shots, trying to be fired here, but it's true. He didn't stick to what got him there when he had the big lead. He started switching and guessing a little bit and double guessing himself. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick to the bread and butter of going contrarian like I've been doing. I'm going to stay there. And I am taking, who am I taking? I can't remember.
Pittsburgh.
I'm taking Pittsburgh.
You sound like a true Batavia Townie. That's what you sound like, a true Batavia
I
Townie.
don't even know what that means. But okay.
You're the one who told me about it.
Yeah, I mean.
On to 4 o'clock here. This 4 o'clock game, you know what it's going to bring us to? The Floaties.
Okay.
Safest bet of the week. And that's going to be the Los Angeles Chargers versus Denver. Denver's getting 2.5 at home. I'm taking Los Angeles here to keep riding here, and they know they're going to be in a dogfight for the division with Kansas City looking good again. I think they know they got to win these games, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to go out there, they're going to perform, they're going to get a win against a Denver team that hasn't looked great. Yeah, I know they're coming off the bye. I don't really care. Taking Los Angeles Chargers minus 2.5.
Yeah, I'm right there. I think Herbert righted the ship. Denver, a little sneaky good defense, but, they'll be in the game, but I don't think they cover. I just like the Chargers to go ahead and win this game.
Did you watch the highlights from that Denver game last week?
Who did they play?
Or 2 weeks ago? Who was it? Why can't I remember right now? Anyway, Bridgewater threw an interception or a fumble. I think it was an interception. And the way he whiffed on that tackle, I've never seen a quarterback.
He didn't whiff. He stopped that. I told people that there has to be a rule on the Denver team. No, seriously, there has to be a rule. If you're a quarterback, you can't tackle. No, I'm serious. Because that's the only way you can explain that. It has to be in his contract.
The worst part is he went up and just stopped, but sort of turned his shoulder. And then you can see a blocker still coming, so he still got ran over. Why not just try to make the play right there?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I really do believe that there's a rule that just don't do nothing.
But I thought after Drew Lock threw interceptions last year, he was trying to make tackles.
Maybe it's a new rule. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. On to the next game here, Minnesota versus San Fran. I was high on Minnesota last week. They came through for me. This week I expect them to let everyone down here. That's why I'm going to take San Fran minus 3. With arguably probably the hottest player in football right now. Deebo Samuel. He does it all. He's running the ball out the backfield, scored 2 touchdowns last week. He's catching touchdowns. He's a true Swiss Army knife. He's everything you can want in an offensive weapon right now. He's probably the hottest guy in football for me.
I'm taking Minnesota here. I just like the run game to be there, the play action, what they do. I think they can mirror San Francisco's run game a little bit. And, yeah, I'm taking Minnesota. It's a gamble. Like he said, you never know what you're going to get. But I've done well on them this year, except last week I got burned. But I'm gonna hop on them, and hopefully they get me a cover. But it is going to be a close game and a good game.
And I believe this is our
two teams on the rise there that aren't, like, in a solid playoff spot, but could get themselves there with a nice win here.
This game, I believe, is the first pick-em-up we got of the year.
Yeah.
First pick-em we got of the year.
Probably at this time, yeah.
The Los Angeles Rams versus the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay obviously coming off that loss last week. Now this man Rodgers has COVID toe, whatever you want to call that. I mean,
Rams coming off a loss as well.
Yep. But I like the Rams to bounce back coming off the bye week. I think that bye week was really going to help them, especially losing Robert Woods. Losing a key piece like that in the middle of the week right before you're about to play can be detrimental to a team. And people are saying OBJ is already giving Stafford the look. I don't really care about that. I think the week off sort of got everyone in tune to sort of get this offense rolling again. So I like the Rams here. I like the defense to sort of click together and show up finally after adding, Von Miller. So I'm going to take the Rams as my pick 'em.
I like Green Bay here. I just don't see the Rams going on the road and beating Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. That's basically what I got for you.
All right. 8 o'clock. Cleveland versus Baltimore. Baltimore is minus 3.5 at home. I'm going with Cleveland. I mean, you got to wake up at some point. I don't think they look good. They barely squeak one out last week, if I'm not mistaken. And then they didn't cover.
Yeah, they barely squeaked one out against Detroit.
Yep. So I'm going to take Cleveland here against Baltimore. To me, Baltimore, there's two Baltimores. There's the hot, explosive offense and the great defense, and then there's just the Baltimore that shows up where they can't move the ball and their defense gets shitted on. For me,
consistency is key in this league, and they're not consistent.
Yeah, they're not.
No one really has been this year.
No, and I honestly sort of think this could be Nick Chubb's big game. I feel like, he's been sort of dismal stats-wise over the last couple weeks. Seems like since Wyatt Teller got paid, this offensive line hasn't really been moving people like they were. I look for them to bounce back this week and it be against Baltimore, who, if I'm not mistaken, I should double-check myself. I'm not going to...
So you're taking Cleveland.
I'm taking Cleveland, and Baltimore has not had a very good run defense this year. They blitz too much. They get caught blitzing, and then the guy's gone up the seam, or, you know what I mean? He finds that one hole, and it's 10, 15 yards, and that's why I like Cleveland in this game.
I'm taking Baltimore here. I agree with what you said. It's, a toss-up, but I just think Baltimore gets right. I think they have a better team. Cleveland's been banged up all year, and it's just kind of not their year. I don't think their quarterback is good. Said it since the beginning of last year. Baker is not going to sign another deal with Cleveland, and I still believe that. I think that marriage is over, and I just love Baltimore in this game, just based on the fact that I don't think Cleveland's a very good team, and I think Baltimore is hungry.
Yeah, they're in yards per game allowed. They're 25th, Baltimore, so that defense is definitely, you know what I mean, could be a good piece for them to try to start something. This Monday Night Football game, I looked at this and I was very confused.
What's Washington's record?
Off the top of my head, what do we have? 4-1.
You should definitely know this.
Yep, I haven't been paying that much attention. Yeah, we're 4-6.
What's Dallas's?
Oh shit, I don't pay attention to Dallas. Come on, let's be honest here.
I think they lost like 3 games, maybe.
I have it so Dallas can't even pop up in my phone, so I really don't know what you
I don't even know what that means, but I'm pretty sure how many games there have been? Bills are 6-4, so I believe Dallas is 7-3. So you're 3 games out. But go ahead, you can talk about the game.
Oh yeah, they're 7-3.
Yeah.
So anyway, here I wasn't understanding why Washington is -1 against Seattle. I just feel like Seattle has better weapons, and Russ getting shut out. I mean, that doesn't happen very often, and I expect this to be a big bounce back game for Seattle. Honestly. Without Sweat and Young, our pass rush is okay. Nothing for Russ to really be too jumpy back there, really, to push him off his mark. Our secondary has got beat up multiple times. I think all he has to do is stand back and put the ball up and let Metcalf and Lockett go make plays, and they'll probably win this game by 7 points. And you guys at home will probably think I'm the worst fan ever, from the Michigan game to the Washington game. I'm just trying to give you guys real stuff, you know what I mean? I don't want you putting your money on something and then hitting me up, be like, yo, you told me to put my money on this, bro, and I got burned. And I'm be like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I was going with my gut. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm trying to come back. I'm trying to win you guys money, trying to put money in our pockets. So I like Seattle +1.
I'm taking Seattle, too. I just don't get this line at all. Washington's been playing better, but they're kind of banged up. And I don't know. I just don't trust Taylor Heineke over Russell Wilson, no matter where the game is. So I think that Russ is going to start cooking again. I actually saw a picture sent in the group chat.
The ice on the bread?
It said, let Russ cook, and then it says Russ is cooking or whatever, and it had 2 slices of bread with ice cubes in between it. But yeah, I just trust Seattle, so that's going to wrap it up for the coverage of the games. Episode 67, I'm going with former Sabre, Montreal Canadian, played a couple other places. Benoit Pouliot, French-Canadian. Was terrible for the Sabres at least, so high pick though in the NHL draft. He just kind of never really found his way.
I got 2. First one I'm going to throw at you, 67, Taj Gibson for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
And the New York Knicks.
and the New York Knicks. I forget he wears 67 everywhere. But, and then 67 for the Arizona Cardinals, Justin Pugh.
Yep, and that's going to wrap it up. We got a quick out tonight. We got some stuff to do, so this has been your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast. Stay safe, have a good Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
That's it.